This emu is came in our IVRI postmortem room for the diagnosis of the death, and after that we buried it and for 2 months and collected all the bones. And as we can now see that the bones present here, and the structural difference between the bones of emu and fowl will not only explore the anatomical knowledge and also contribute to understand the functional aspect of the musculoskeletal system. It also forms a database for application to design clinically oriented models, and that is applicable to humans. The emu powered flight, that is a very powerful flightless bird, and because this highly developed pelvic limb, this is a very easily sustain very high speed. And the bones, if we say that the bones in the thoracic limb is comprises of the pectoral girdle in this location, which is having scapula, coracoid, clavicle, arm, forearm, manus, and the carpus, metacarpus and digits, but very less and very ill developed bones are present. But in case of pelvic limb, you can see their bones are highly developed, consist of the os cocci, that is the pelvic girdle, high, and you can see that is very high in position. Then thighs are, and the length, leg and the face comprises of tarsus, metatarsus and digits. Os cocci, very large size, providing greater surface area. The ilium was having the maximum portion of os cocci, that is having pre-acetabular. This is the acetabular, this is the pre-acetabular ilium, and this is the post-acetabular, which is triangular in shape. The medial surface of the ilium fused with the transverse process of lumbosacral mass. Here the last lumbar, that is sacral and first few coccygeal vertebrae combinedly from lumbosacral or synsacrum, that is combinedly in the middle position of the ilium also. Then you can see ischium was long. Here we can see that ischium, which is having the long round to flat bone, presents on the ventral aspect of the ilium, but extending slightly more caudal to the extent of the ilium, like this. Here you can see in this position, this is the ilium, this is the ilium, this is the ischium, and the pubis is the rod-like bone, which is, we can see here, this is the pubis, very long, rod-like in appearance. Then the femur, which is a very short, much developed bone, which is having the head, and this is the tuber trochanter, which is downward and forwardly present, and tibiotarsus, which is the longest bone. Then you can see that here, this is the fibula, and then the tibiotarsus is the longest, but the tarsometatarsus, which is less than that of the tibiotarsus, which is having attached with the digits. You can see the digits are there, that is representing the second, third and fourth, and these all are having 3, 4 and 5 phalanges, which are having length decrease towards the anterior aspect, and they are having anteriorly the claw. You can see these are the claw-like appearance. They are help them to movement at the time of fast running. Then the axial skeleton, if we say that they are having the total number of 17 cervical vertebrae, that is atlas is the ring shaped and axis is the next cervical vertebrae, and skull is, if we say that, comprises of neurocranium, which is having the occipital, sphenoid, temporal, parietal and frontal bone, and the splanchnocriarium consisting of mandible, quadrate and hyoid bone in this location. And the first 7th thoracic vertebrae, here we can see that they are separated from each other, and the 7th were fused on the cranial border of the ilium, that is the 7th, and the last 3 thoracic vertebrae were completely fused with each other and were sandwiched between the iliac plates in this location. And the last 2 thoracic vertebrae that take part in the formation of lumbosacral mass or synsacrum, we can say that. Then we can see here the sternum. Sternum is a triangular bowl-shaped bone. We can see it is in the form of a bowl, and the ribs are 9 pair. Total 9 pair. Out of this, first and third and 8th and 9th were floating ribs, but the 4th, 5th and 6th and 7th, 4th, 5th and 6th and 7th is this is complete ribs, because they are attached with the external rib, which is attaching they are proximally with the distal end of the 4th, 5th and 6th complete rib, and distally they are attaching with the costal facets present on the sternum. And we can see here there is no uncinate process in the ribs. We can not see any uncinate process in case of emu, but the uncinate process is we can see in case of fowl. So this is all about the skeleton of emu, which is you can see here. Okay, thank you.